Hey there, I'm Caleb Kraft. I'm senior editor for Make Magazine and Maker Faire around the world, and I happen to live here in Springfield. And since my job and my life involves so many different aspects of creating all the time, I'm going to be sharing a bunch of different videos on different aspects of my workshop and my tools and stuff. This video is just a tour of my 3D printers. Let's hop into it. So this is out in my shop, and here is a lineup of the current set of 3D printers I have. There's actually one more. We'll get to that here in a minute. I test a lot of 3D printers for work, for reviews and stuff like that, but the bulk of them get shipped back to the manufacturer. I don't keep them, or I ship them to San Francisco where our main office is. The current ones that I have in my shop are this one on the back here, which is the Creality CR6E. Very cheap printer. It was like $350, I believe, on Kickstarter. It works pretty well. There have been some people recently that have been having some electrical issues with them, but I personally have not had that. I've had great luck with it. I've loaned that out to a few people, and they've had good luck with it. It's worked great. Up next here, this is the PRUSA Mini. This is the latest one I've gotten, and it's really, really nice. PRUSA makes fantastic printers that have all the bells and whistles, everything you could want in a 3D printer, and it was the same cost as that CR6 SE back there, except it's got a few more extra features and better customer support, in my opinion. So this little PRUSA Mini here, not quite as big, but it prints beautifully. Actually, let's grab a print off of it. Here's my workbench, and here is a print off of that. I don't know how in focus this is going to be, but you can see here, this is a fairly large print for such a small printer. Let me back up again here, and it looks fantastic. So anyway, that's the PRUSA Mini, which I believe is going to end up being my workhorse printer just because it's super reliable. Back here is the PRUSA SLA printer. It uses resin that's cured by light to create super fine detail prints. I don't use it that much because resin printers are an ungodly mess. Actually, let's show an example of something printed on that. So here is something printed on that. It's a little miniature, and it is super, super high detail. You probably won't be able to see that because the camera I'm using doesn't focus on things up close very well, but it's super, super, super high detail. So that's the resin printer. You print your stuff, and then there's a whole process that I use this for that involves cleaning the part and then curing the part with ultraviolet light to make sure all the resin is hardened and cured. And so because that's such a mess and I don't really need to print super high detail things that often, I don't use that a whole lot. Every once in a while I break it out though, just because it's so neat to see the super high detail. Okay, up next is this monster. Oof. This is a printer for printing ceramics. It was called Sarambot, and it was a Kickstarter. And when I joined the Kickstarter and paid for it, I was super excited about it. And after I've gotten it now, I've only put like peanut butter through it. I have not printed with ceramics with this yet, but I have it, and I plan on one day playing with it, but I just haven't had a chance. I assembled it, got it working, and then I've put it on a shelf and haven't played with it since. I think the printer was $400 or $500 for everything involved here. You can see here, you put ceramic in here, or clay, and it pushes it through down out here in 3D prints, so you can do like a vase or whatever. It's fairly substantial sized. I mean, there's my hand next to it. But I just don't use it. I might actually probably sell that one or get rid of it. I don't know. But I have it. It's neat. There it is. So there's the bulk of my collection. And then let's go look at the very last one. So this is my little desk area in the house. And that is my real workhorse. I use that printer the most. It's the most reliable printer I've ever had. The quality is fantastic. That is a PRUSA i3 MK3S. So i3 Make 3S. It's a little bit older than the Mini that you saw out in my garage, so it doesn't have quite as many features, like the little screen is not color, but it just prints. It prints well. I love it. I love the features. I love like this removable, flexible bed, so my parts just pop off. That's a killer printer. My favorite printer by far. And that's it. Those are my 3D printers. I use some more than others, but those are the ones that I have right now. And I'll see you all in a little while for a tour of another part of my workshop, the CNC machines or my hand engraving setup or something like that. I don't know. We'll see.